In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create the Adamski effect in Luminar NEO. The introduction of the blur tool in Luminar NEO has opened up new editing possibilities, including the Adamski effect. This famous look is known for a combination of motion blur and sharp subjects in same photo. Now in this tutorial, I will guide you on how to easily create this look in Luminar NEO. Okay, so before we going to start with the edit, let's quickly talk about the Adamski effect. This effect was named after Josh Adamski, who is impressionist photographer who really made it famous. One more time, the effect is based on combination of motion blur background and a sharp subject. Combination of both often create a cool abstract illusion which can be quite easily replicated using photo editing tools. And today, as I promised, we're gonna recreate it here in Luminar NEO. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump into our sample files, and quickly reminder that if you wanna follow me along and do the edit on your own computer, all you need to do is to jump into the description of this video, follow the link there and download the sample files now. Once you're ready, import them into Luminar NEO and we can start. The first image we're gonna be editing is the lady in white, and on this image I'm gonna show you the easier way to create this effect. So once you're ready, click on it and select it and then move it into edit module. In the edit module, we're gonna move straight into our editing toolbar, then into the creative section, and here we're gonna be looking for the blur tool. Click on the blur tool, open it and switch the blur filter into motion. By the way, if you need a little reminder on how to use the blur tool, or if you want to learn about all the different filters and controllers, we have a full tutorial on how to do that on our YouTube channel, and I will link it in the top right corner of your screen now. Anyway, coming back to our edit, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the amount slider and increase all the way up to 100. When it comes to motion blur, we have another slider available, which allows us to adjust the angle or direction of the motion blur. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the slider and bring it all the way to right, to 90. Now, by doing that, we will adjust the direction so it will go from bottom up. Once we do that, we now have the motion blurred background. However, our subject is blurry too. So how can we adjust this? Well, we're gonna use a simple masking in the blur tool. So we're gonna click on that. And from the choices here, we're gonna choose Mask AI. Now the application will scan the image and basically prepare a choices of what we can select on the image. As you can see, we have a choice between human, flora, architecture, and man-made ground. Well, for us, we want to select the human because we want the subject to be sharp. So let's do that. Let's click on human and give it a few moments. By doing that, the human is now selected. However, also the human is the one who has the blur on it. So we need to adjust this. Now to do that, we're gonna click on the little arrow in front of the mask, and then we're gonna move into mask actions. Here, there is many different options, but the one we are looking for is invert. So what we're trying to do is we want to apply the blur to everything other than the human. So let's do that. Let's click on invert. And just like that, we now have the subject in focus and sharp, and everything else has the motion blur on it. So once we're happy with this adjustment here, we can return to the adjustments tab. And from here, if you want, you can adjust the amount of the blur. However, remember that the original Adamski look has a lot of blur on it. So probably the 100% is right. Additionally, we can also adjust the direction of the blur using the angle slider. And here you can really play around with that. You can, for example, bring it down and have the direction of the blur in the direction the woman is walking. So it can be going towards the left. So just like that, if we bring it around, we can have it somewhere around -11, and that looks good too. And after this, we are pretty much finished. So this is the easy way to create this look. However, there is one downside of it, and that's that, as you can see, around the subject, we have a little bit of the glow and blur of the subject itself. You can see the face, the body, the legs, and everything else. So how can we fix this? Well, now I'm gonna show you more advanced technique which can avoid the glow and the blur around the subject. Now, before we going to continue, I wanna quickly remind you that this tutorial is powered by our Luminar NEO Winter Bundle. Our popular bundle is back with over 860 winter elements to power up your favorite Luminar NEO tools. For a little fee, you will get winter skies, overlays, textures, backgrounds, frames, working layers, LUTs, and presets to transform your winter images with just a few clicks. Plus, if you get it now, you will also get an additional festive bundle to really get you ready for the upcoming holiday season. Now, to get the best possible price, follow the link in the description of this video, or to find out more about it, head to our website cleverphotographer.com. Now, moving back to the catalog module, where again we are looking at our sample files, and for the more advanced technique, we're gonna be using the second image with the lady in the brown coat. Now, for this technique to work, we need 2 copies of the same image. So as you can see, I have one image here and one image here. Now let's select one of them and open it in Gen Erase tool. To do that, we're gonna go to our toolbar on the right and simply click on the Gen Erase tool here. Again, if you need a full tutorial on how to use the Gen Erase or how to add it into your workflow, we have both of these videos available on our YouTube channel. But the idea is really simple. We're gonna make our brush a little bit bigger and basically brush over the area we want to erase. So what we want to do, we want to erase the woman from this image. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just select everything just like this. And once we have the selection ready, including all the hair, all we need to do is to click on the erase button. Now the application will take that specific part of the image, send it to the cloud, and there, following the content around the person and the image, it will try to recreate the area without the person on it. Once the application returns the image, you can double check the result, and when you hover over, you can see the part that was replaced. And actually, looking at it, I think it did pretty decent job. And I want to add to it that the result or the erase part doesn't need to be perfect for this technique. We just need to make sure that the person isn't there. So this is more than good enough. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on Save and return into our catalog module. Once we do that, the new image will be placed into Generative Creations folder where we can look for it. Let's have a look where it is, somewhere here. And from here, we can now take it and drag and drop it into our Adamski Effect folder. Once we have it there, we can return back and we're gonna select the second image and move it into Edit module. In the Edit module, we're gonna navigate towards our editing toolbar where we're gonna click on Layer Properties and then Masking. In the masking, we're gonna look for background removal, and once we click on that, the application will scan the image and prepare the automatic mask for our background removal. With that being done, we have the option to select the main object, human, architecture, or man-made ground. So we have the main object selected already. We can also select the human and click on Remove. It only takes a few seconds and the application will automatically remove the background. So now we need to add our new background, the one without the person on it. So for that, we need to go into Layers panel, click on the plus sign and click on Load Image. Here, navigate towards the sample files for this episode and you should already have the new street without the person on it there. select it, click on Open, and it will be added into my images. Here again, click on My Images and add it into the Layers panel. Now, as you can see, it's above the main subject, so we need to take it and drag and drop it behind. And then what we need to do, we need to come back to Layer Properties and increase the opacity to 100. So now we have two layers. We have one layer with our main subject and second layer with just the background. So now we can go ahead and make sure that we have the background selected, then move into the editing toolbar, back to the creative section, and again open the blur tool. Now you already know what to do. We're gonna use the motion filter where we're gonna increase the amount and then we're gonna adjust the angle, let's say all the way up to 90 to get a result like this. With that being done, we can now close the blur tool and we can have a look at the result. Let's have a look at the before and after, and I think it's great. So you can see that now looking around the edges of the subject, we don't have that kind of glow and motion created from the subject. So it looks much cleaner. So the secret for this is to have two images where one, we remove the main subject and end up with just the background. And on the second one, we remove the background and end up having just the main subject. After that, you combine the two in the Layers panel, apply the blur to the background, and you have a result which gives you the famous Adamski look.
And there you have it. If you want a copy of our popular Luminar NEO shortcut cheat sheet, there is nothing easier than heading to our website cleverphotographer.com/LuminarGive. While you're there, you can also check out one of our popular Luminar NEO products, or you can stay here and watch more videos about Luminar NEO. For today, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please make sure that you like, comment, and share on this video. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can keep creating content like this. For today, thank you very much for watching. My name was Jakub, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.